most common type of valve which is available in the industry. So this this valve is actually like either we use it for fully open or fully closed conditions. We do not keep it in a regulating mode like throttling mode. And the advantage of a gate valve is it provides a good shut-off, like good means leak resistance of the valve is very high. Also, it can be used in almost all fluid services, air, water, gas, or any other form of service. We can use a gate valve, fuel oil, in any service. So we will see how a gate valve works. We will see a video. This is actually the model of a gate valve. So it shows how the valve opens by turning the hand wheel. Also the closing portion it is shown. So how the valve operates. That is the main part to be noted. And it shows how the different parts are going to be assembled. The part which went inside is the wedge. The long rod is the stem. Now the joining portion is the bonnet, which is bolted. Okay, that is a stem portion. The stem is locked. Similarly, the threaded part of the stem we can see. The rotating wheel is the hand wheel, which is locked right now. So this is the total assembly of a valve, of a gate valve. So we will see the gate valve in detail, like what all parts are there. So in this diagram, the red portion, which we see is the wedge or gate. Similarly, the blue colored is the seat, where the wedge comes and aligns or it sits on the seat. So the body is the entire body of the valve. Similarly, the light blue color, I mean the cyan color, rod is the stem. Similarly, there is a hand wheel on top, which we saw in the video, which rotates, which we operate on the valve. And there is a bonnet, which we can remove with this bolted bonnet. We can remove the bonnet bolts and take off the bonnet and see the inside part of the valve. Okay, so we will see types of gate valve. There are few types: solid wedge, flexible wedge, split wedge, OS and Y gate valve, that is a rising stem valve. Also, we have a non-rising stem gate valve, which is also known as an insider screw valve. We will see the types in the next slide. So classification based on wedge, we saw in the earlier slide, like solid taper wedge, flexible wedge, split wedge. This picture shows a solid wedge, which is the first one. Second one is a split wedge. Third is a flexible wedge. We will see it in detail in the next slide. Okay, so solid wedge gate valve, it is a most commonly and widely used type because of its simplicity and strength. The design construction is very simple and the strength it offers is very high. Similarly, it can be installed in any position. Also, it is suitable for all fluids and it can be used in turbulent flow also. So generally, we use in a moderate to low pressure temperature application. We do not use this solid wedge valve for high temperature or high pressure application because this is a rigid solid design. It is not a flexible design. So if the temperature is high, the valve is exposed to thermal expansion. So when the thermal expansion occurs, there will be a slight deformation in the seating position. So the solid wedge gate valve will start leaking. So because of that, we use this solid wedge gate valve only for lower pressure temperature application. The flexible wedge gate valve. So this is a one-piece solid wedge with a cut around the perimeter. There is a design change in the wedge. Similarly, this valve improves seat alignment and offers better leak tightness. This is generally used in steam systems because steam is a high temperature system and where there will be thermal expansion. So this valve improves the seat alignment, adjusts according to the expansion. So it prevents thermal blinding, which is actually thermal locking. Thermal locking means in case of a expansion, in the case of earlier discussed solid wedge valve, the thermal locking means the wedge locks on the position. It will not move. So this valve adjusts to the position. So it prevents thermal blinding or thermal locking. So the disadvantage of this is fluid tends to collect in wedge, which may result in corrosion. So that is a disadvantage of this valve. Okay, so next one we are seeing split wedge or parallel disc gate valve. This is actually a more flexible type where different types like two solid pieces holding together with a special mechanism. Also, there is a parallel disc type which are spring loaded. So this is suitable for handling non-condensing gases and liquids at higher temperatures, normal and higher temperatures. Similarly, this is the best option to prevent thermal blinding in the system. And for higher applications, we always prefer a split wedge gate valve. Okay, so classification, we will see how gate valves are classified. Like based on the body bonnet joint, we can classify into 4 types. The first picture, the brass type valve is seen is the screwed bonnet valve. It is a simple design. It is an inexpensive design. So normal small valves generally come in screwed bonnet. Next is the bolted bonnet design. The second picture. The bolted bonnet is a widely used type in the industry because this bolted bonnet we can do maintenance. That is a main advantage. We can remove the gas bolts and there is a gasket in between. So once we remove, we can do the maintenance of the valve. And next one is a welded bonnet, which is the third picture. So welded bonnet is widely used like for high pressure applications and where maintenance requirement is not means not required. Maintenance is not required or a replacement is done. In such cases, welded bonnet is used. And the final one is a pressure seal bonnet. Pressure seal bonnet is actually it is used for high pressure applications. It is like a sealing, different type of sealing bonnet, which ensures it can withstand high pressure. So that is a type used for high pressure applications. Now, based on the stem movement, we have 2 types: rising stem and non-rising stem. So rising stem is also known as OS and Y type. It is outside stem and yoke type. We can see this OS and Y mentioned. Whoever working with valves must have seen OS and Y mentioned in the specification. So that is a rising stem valve. So the non-rising type is also known as insider screw valves. We will see it in the next slide. Okay, so rising stem valve. The first picture is actually the closed condition. We can see that the stem is threaded. So the second picture is actually the open condition where the stem is actually coming up to the upward direction. So when the valve is open, the stem will be very visible. And when the valve is closed, stem will be inside. So this design, this is actually an advantage. Like when we see a rising stem valve, if we see the stem on the upward visible area, we know that the valve is open. And if we do not see a stem, the valve is closed. So that is a rising stem valve. And this is a non-rising stem type. Here the stem does not rise above the hand wheel because the stem is not threaded in the hand wheel area. It is threaded, the wedge inside is threaded. We can see the first picture. In the closed condition, we can see that the wedge is closed and inside is threaded. So when we operate the hand wheel, when we rotate the hand wheel, the thread will engage with the inside thread of the wedge. So this ensures that this stem is will not protrude, will not come upside of the hand wheel. So this valve is compact and this is generally used where we have space constraint. And the thing is, the media of the fluid has to be taken care of. Like if a corrosive fluid, the threaded portion of the stem may get exposed to the corrosive fluid, which will end up in corrosion. So while selecting the valve for corrosive fluid, we have to go for a rising stem valve. Okay, we'll see the application of gate valve. We can use it for almost any service like air, fuel, gas, feed water, steam, lube oil, hydrocarbon, etc. So there are special gate valves like slurry and powder product, etc. We use knife gate valve. So knife gate valve is used in offshore oil rigs. We can see the knife gate valve application in the mud trough line. So because of the solid particles and the requirement for a long life, we use a knife gate valve. The only thing is the wedge which we can see in the picture is actually a knife type. It is a knife. It will come. It is a flat disc type. Comes straight and sits on the seat. The seat can be metal type or with a rubber seal type. So metal type is preferred for high temperature applications. Okay, we can see the advantages of a gate valve. It provides good sealing, low pressure drop during operation, bidirectional flow is permitted. We can use it for high pressure and temperature and requires less maintenance. Also, we can see the disadvantages of gate valve. It cannot be used to control the flow because we use a gate valve either to keep it fully open or fully closed. We do not keep it partially open. That is, controlling the flow is not done with a gate valve. It is slow in operation because we have to rotate the hand wheel. A lot of rotation has to be done to make it completely closed and to take it completely open. And if you keep it partially open, it creates vibration and noise because the wedge will be blocking the flow. Also, limited access makes maintenance difficult because the valve bonnet, when we remove, the opening portion is actually much smaller. So maintenance is a bit difficult, like grinding or lapping of seats, etc. That operations are actually difficult with the gate valve.